Are we going?
You're live.
I'm live. Okay, I'm just settling in here. Thanks for hopefully joining us here as we begin to talk about the storm system that you see swirling over my shoulder. And if you've been aware of what's going on down along the Gulf Coast, several tornadoes even into Florida tonight, so the weather is severe there. For us, the rain shield's just about ready to come up into central Indiana. It's been a winter where we haven't had a lot of snow, so the fact that we've got accumulating snow in the forecast, the potential in the western portion of the state for maybe 4 to 8 inches of wet, heavy snow. And when I say wet, heavy snow, it will be melting a lot as it makes contact with the ground in the short term, and we'll see how long, with temperatures at or above freezing into the evening hours on Thursday and Thursday night, how long we can hold off some of that accumulation. Rain and snow, Tracy says. Yep, it's true. There's your rain. You'll wake up to rain in the morning. The snow is more likely as we get to the afternoon hours, say 1 o'clock in western portions of the state, then 4 in the western half, and then by 7 I think we'll begin to see a transition to snow in the metro area. So Tracy, you don't want to throw an imaginary snowball at me? You can. All right, in my peripheral vision, I see people coming in. We're getting some questions here. So, my volume doesn't work. When are we getting this? So how am I going to answer you if your volume doesn't work? The answer is the winter storm warning will go into effect late morning tomorrow, and the advisory too. So this is really after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, western Indiana, probably not until 7 in the metro area that we begin to transition to all snow. And the other factor here will be the wind at 40 miles per hour or stronger at times, and that will create visibility issues as a result of blowing snow. How many inches expected? Let's zoom in even more, and you can see with me here. 2 to 5 inches along Interstate 70, Terre Haute to Greencastle, into the metro area, Carmel, Fishers, Noblesville, and then 4 to 8, as you can see, in the winter storm warning area, Rockville, Crawfordsville, on to Frankfort and Kokomo. And you say, well, that's a big range. I think there'll be a sharp cutoff from the heaviest snow northwest to 1 to 3 inches of snow or less as you get down towards Shelbyville, Rushville, and Newcastle, because there's a lot of wild cards here. The first wild card is, when exactly do we transition to all snow? 2, how much of an impact does surface temperatures being above freezing and the wet ground have on initial accumulation? I doubt we'll ever have this much on the ground at one time to measure, because I think we'll be melting some of that off. Anyone recognize my cup here? It's from the lemon shake-up stand at the State Fair. 52 in NC, that might be North Carolina. Miss my Hoosier friends, go IU, says Todd. Mark, it's days like that I don't miss in Indy, 79 in West Palm today. How much snow in Bloomington? Bloomington, you're on the edge. You're looking at 2 to 3 inches potentially. And again, this will be a wet, slushy snowfall. And I think the trickiest time period is probably going to end up being Thursday morning, because that's when temperatures will be at or below freezing. It will still be windy. We'll still have snow showers and snow squalls ongoing. Jamie, hello. We said hi to you. Tracy checked in. Chris, Husky Weather Radar says no snow. Well, we'll see, and I don't know exactly where you're talking about no snow, but I do think, and if you have, and I've got my Snowcast app, that's an app that's pretty cool. It's available for your iPhone and iPad, and you just get it right here on your phone, and you can set your location. The tricky part of this is going to be how much of this will we see on the ground at any one time because of those temperatures that I'm talking about. Melissa says hello and thank you. Thank you, Melissa. Donnie, when is the ETA of the snow? I can give you more on that now. Let's talk about the ETA of the snow. It says initially it was predicted that we'd have 3 inches in Indy. Are we now expecting more? No, it's still saying that 2 to 5 inch range, and we've got to put that range because of timing and the ability of the ground to absorb the snow. Whether we see that much on the ground at one time or not is still in question. Can we expect sleet and snow in Kokomo? I would say the answer to that is yes, especially early. This is what the storm will look like. All of these lines, the circles are isobars, lines of equal pressure. The more you see, the windier it will be. The storm system then is tracking a little more to the northwest, and so that's pushing the heavier snow band potentially to the northwest. There's your wind in the morning. How about that? 30 to 40 miles per hour with higher gusts. That will continue as we go through the day, eventually coming all out of the northwest. There's 7 a.m. There's your rain shield. Any snow, Lafayette up to Chicago along I-65, or if you go I-74 in western Indiana into Illinois, you'd run into the snow first there. I moved this to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's your snow line, Peru, Crawfordsville, Terre Haute. That's the snow line between 1 and 2. By the time we get to 4 to 5, it's knocking on the door of Indy, and then by 7 o'clock, you can see it overspreads all of central Indiana. Hello to Jesse. Thanks for checking in. Kokomo in the 6 to 8 inch range. No, I put Kokomo on the edge of the 4 or 5 inch range. I mean, there's going to be a sharp cutoff as to wherever the heavier band is. That 4 to 8 south and east of that will be much less in a hurry. I think I wore shorts today. Laugh out loud, not tomorrow. Sheila, you're obviously not a teenager, because they're going to forget and try to trick mom and dad into going to school without a coat and the proper attire tomorrow. Definitely send the kids with winter gear, even though it'll be raining in the morning. Muncie, you're in the 2 to 5 inch range, it looks like, as well. Here's two things that all of us will have. Rain, potentially an inch to an inch and a half of rain, and we'll all have winds of 30 to 40 miles per hour. The snow, especially the heavier snow, will be more selective north and west, and then diminish south and east. Worried more about possible ice problems between the rain and snow. Any thoughts on that? I don't think we'll see much in the way of ice problems with this. We'll transition from rain to snow with maybe a period of sleet, and for a decent amount of time, the surface temperatures are going to be above the freezing mark into, it looks like, Wednesday evening and later Wednesday night, before changing into below freezing temperatures by Thursday morning. Josh Murray, we just talked about Delaware County and Muncie, and he says thanks for doing that. Carmel from Valerie. Carmel's in the 2 to 5 inch range as well, and pretty much in the same time period that we were just talking about there. You'll wake up to very windy, wet conditions with all of the rain. Franklin down in Johnson County, same thing, 2 to 5 inches. But once you go from Indy down to Greensburg, Indy down to Seymour, southeast anywhere towards Cincinnati, you're looking at snowfall that will diminish rapidly. If you're going north and west of Indy, I would not recommend, for example, tomorrow trying to drive to Chicago late afternoon or into central Illinois along I-74, or going north of Peru, Logansport towards South Bend tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, because I think conditions will deteriorate quickly there. Teresa in Greenfield, hello, Hancock County. Thanks for checking in. You're in that 2 to 5 inch range with temperatures in the 30s through the day. Teresa says thanks for your time and information. Thorntown is not doomed, Beth. I know you're joking. You'll be fine in Thorntown. Boone County areas north and west of Indy, again, in the 2 to 5, maybe 3 or 4 inch range. As you go northwest of Indy, then it picks up. Bloomington, how much snow? Thanks. Hello, Sandy. It looks like Bloomington's in the 1 to 3 inch range, the way we see it now. There's your overnight into the morning hours on a Thursday. So here's your breakdown. You get an idea. Bloomington over to Columbus and Greensburg, Richmond, Columbus down to Seymour, 1 to 3. You come into the 2 to 5 inch range from Terre Haute through Spencer on to Greencastle, Indy, Martinsville, then on up toward Marion and Muncie, and then 4 to 8 anywhere from Terre Haute to Kokomo and Peru northwest. Avon. Oh, you hit my soft spot. I live in Hendricks County in Avon, and it looks like we may have to shovel a little bit. Falling off my chair here. We may have to shovel a little bit, but we're in that 2 to 5 inch range as well. Hope INDOT will be prepared. Oh yeah, they will be, Amy. And this may be tough at first to plow, because I think it could just be a slushy mess for a period of time, and then eventually be able to plow some of this. You'll be able to shovel some of this, but it will freeze on Thursday morning. But Wednesday night, tomorrow night, I think it's more of a slushy mess for a period of time. Beth saying thanks. She was joking. Needed to hear you say it out loud. Laugh out loud. Yeah, thank you. Thorntown's in good shape. Hi, Mike Mahoney. What do you see Greencastle getting? And again, Greencastle's in the 2 to 5 inch range, but you're on the edge. So any shift in this, I mean, this isn't locked in stone as to the heavier bands of snow drifting south and east or being pushed more to the north and west. But if you weren't with me a little bit ago, I think a couple of wild cards will be, how long does it take for temperatures to get to the freezing mark? Because that will allow more of this to be melting on contact with the ground. The rain obviously will have things wet, so that will aid in melting. And so I don't think we'll ever see 8 inches on the ground to measure in one spot, because a lot of that will be melting. Date for lunch tomorrow. Hopefully it waits until after my lunch. Gretchen, the earlier you eat lunch, the better, especially if you're north and west of Indy. I don't know exactly where you're at, but a noontime lunch in Indy will just have rain. A noontime lunch in Lafayette may have some snow involved. Amy King, love the live feed. Watch you daily. Thank you, Amy. Good to hear from you. That's what I was wondering, since I live on the Boone County line. So we answered Gene, your question. Thank you. That's more like it, says Larry Poole. He likes winter. So I don't know if you'd rather have the 72 that we had last Saturday or get into some winter weather here before we turn the corner. Just so you know, the latest snowfall we've ever had is like May 9th for measurable snowfall. The average date for our last measurable snowfall is March 30th, so we've got to settle in here. We're not ready to bring spring in immediately. And what if the track shifts 50 miles south? Less. So then less, it's funny you say that, because we'd end up with more snow in Indy if the track shifts more to the south and east. So we'll keep our eye on that. But right now it's been pretty consistent in western and northwestern portions of the state, getting a little heavier snow. And the reason we have this large range is because it will be tight, what we call gradient, or shift from the heaviest snow to much less snow as you go south and east of that. Marion, how much are you going to get? You can see as you get up into Grant County, you're on the 2 to 5 inch range. It looks like the whole thing will be spinning and sending the deep moisture into the eastern portion of the state, pulling up warmer air with it. So the western, northwestern is more likely to see more snow as they get the colder air that changes the rain to snow a little bit earlier. I'm going to push a button here and we'll see what changes back behind me. There's just another model run, and all of these different models vary in the predicted snowfall amounts. I'm kind of going to reset the whole big picture here, because I know there are people joining here at all different times. John is predicting 1.5 for Greencastle. I wouldn't argue with you. That's almost in the 2 to 5 inch range. So if you do, guys, have snow at some point tomorrow, feel free to hit me up on my Facebook page, Kevin Gregory, RTV6. If you don't like the page now, you can try it out and like it if you like it. I'd love to have a conversation with you there as well. Let's give the workers who have to clean all this up hats off for giving us clean, safe roads. I agree with you, Eric. I think sometimes our expectations are unrealistic when you get a decent snow that the roads are going to be perfectly clear. It's nearly impossible to do after getting several inches of snow. Fortunately for us, the wind's 40 miles per hour, even stronger at times. With the snow being wet, it's going to be sticky. It's going to be the kind that if you try to pack it with your gloves, you get all soaking wet, because there's a lot of moisture content with this, as the temperatures will be around freezing, if not a little above, that it won't blow around as much. Hello to Pam Dean, North Vernon. You get into southeast Indiana, and what will happen is the snowfall will be a little later in the day, more toward the evening, and then also lighter. There's the rain right now. Some of you, anyone down in Bloomfield, hello Bloomington. How about the hills of Nashville or Columbus? You should be getting some rain at this point. And there's the advisory that's kind of purple, and the white area is where we do have the winter storm warning because of the higher snowfall potential. That's what it looks like there, and everywhere in the eastern portion of the state, a 1 to 3 inch snowfall potential. One thing I never know is exactly how long I've talked, but I do know this. In 29 minutes, our RTV6 News at 11 starts whether I'm ready or not, so I'm going to need to get ready for that here shortly. Jackie Dixon, love to look at the 30-day weather. How accurate is that? I'm already looking forward to St. Patty's Day. Well, obviously the 30-day outlooks and that just go in general terms, and often I like to say in weather we're never wrong. The timing's just off. So often these pattern shifts can be picked up well in advance, but the timing of the arrival of, say, a big warm-up or a big cool-down or a storm often changes, and so that's the problem with the big kind of long-term forecast if you start looking at a month ahead. Hello, Christy. She has something to do around 3 to 4 tomorrow in the Brownsburg area. I still think it'll probably be rain at that point in Brownsburg, but it wouldn't be too far. 6, 7 that you're starting to transition then to, it looks like all snow. There's the storm system, the area of low pressure. The center of that, where that tracks, is what's critical then to where the heavier snow track is to the north and west of that. There's the wind. You'll probably begin to hear this overnight as the winds rattle the windows just a bit, because it won't be surprised we'll have 30 to 40 mile per hour winds first thing in the morning. I'll go through this one more time for you, and then we'll get ready for the late news. But there is all the rain. That's a soaking rain first thing in the morning. Then we get to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, still rain in Indy, but Kokomo to Crawfordsville to Terre Haute changing to snow, changing to snow between 4 and 5 in the metro area, and then by 7 we're looking at snow pretty much everywhere. Stacy, when is snow coming? That's perfect timing. I just rolled through that for you. Hello, Micah. It's raining and windy in Bloomington. Yes, it was predicted. That's the good news. And it will continue to rain, and the wind will continue to pick up. It's my lemon shake-up cup. Get a quick drink there. It's from the State Fair. If we had elephant ears, then I'd really be in good shape. How much snow will Marion County get? So in Indianapolis, metropolitan Indianapolis, 2 to 5 inches. Again, I think it'll be a slushy mess at some point tomorrow evening when this starts to change to snow, because the temperatures will still be above freezing, road temperatures above freezing as well. Thursday morning will be the morning to really look out for, as the colder air is able to make things much more treacherous as far as road conditions are concerned. Hello, Larry. He's saying this is a pretty cool thing to do. Will you have more? I think the game plan is to have more, certainly, especially when we have something to talk about. And probably we can have just as much fun when we don't have anything to talk about. When will the snow stop? That's a good point, Latasha. So what happens tomorrow night into Thursday? That's the big push of moisture. Then during the day Thursday, we'll have snow showers around. And you know what that's like. It's like a rain shower. You can go 3 blocks. It's just sprinkling. 2 blocks later, it's an all-out downpour. So we'll get snow showers of varying intensity, and the temperatures will be around freezing all day, and the wind still northwest at about 20. So Thursday will be a more consistently cold and snowy day with some accumulation still taking place. Beth Newkirk Height says, thank you. This has been very informative and fun. Get your bread and milk on the way home. I like that. For me, it's popcorn, and it used to be Diet Coke here at work, but now I am drinking water. I haven't had a Diet Coke in 3 weeks. How about that? And I'm still doing fine. I'm not irritable, even though I've lost all of that caffeine. So what we'll do, weather like this makes me thankful to work from home. You are lucky, Gretchen. Thank you for saying hi. Veronica says hello. Pam Dean, thanks, Kevin. It is raining in North Vernon. So we've had our brief conversation here. It's about 25 minutes until the top of the news, and right now I'm the only one in the studio. The others will venture in here in just a little bit. So thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. Enjoy your taking time to make some comments, taking bets on how many wrecks will be on 465 in the morning. Bill. We got to stay positive. I think in the morning we're just dealing with rain, but he brings up a good point. Just slow down. I think sometimes if we didn't wait for someone else to put us on a 2-hour delay, if we put ourselves on a 2-hour delay and just kind of let things settle out, we'd be better off. But Thursday morning is more likely to be an issue, I think, than certainly tomorrow morning, which will just be rain, and then by tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, then we'll have other issues. There are all kinds of people in my peripheral vision right now. They're saying, okay, cut this off. It's time to move on. So thanks for joining me. We will talk again in about 23 minutes or so on RTV6 News at 11. Be safe. Thanks. I'm going to use this finger and say goodnight.